Hello, world, and welcome to Drea Vibes. I am your host, Drea Jackson, and this is my love letter to sound. On the show, I sit down with artists and creators, and we talk about their sonic roots, their relationship with music, and any and everything that shapes their taste in sound. So, welcome to the vibe. Coming up on this episode of Drea Vibes.
I think my melodies come from God. I'm pro-love,
Me too.
Yeah, I'm pro-love. Girl, wipe that smile off your face. Oh, I can actually compose my own songs. And I discovered that really, really young. I was angry. I was mad when I was recording that song. And I was like, yo, fuck you. Like, be a grown-ass nigga. Don't be doing this type of shit. Yeah, I was mad when I did that. I don't know what is wrong with Lady Gaga. That woman is insane. So, debut album. I am very excited. Let me just say that.
Today, we are joined by a queen straight from the homeland. She's a poet. She's a powerhouse. And when she opens her mouth to sing, it's not just a vibe, it's an experience. For real. She blew up the timeline during lockdown with her 1-minute freestyles, and the world hasn't stopped watching her since. Okay? From the church choir to cosigns from DeVito, Olamide. I knew I was going to do that. Olamide. I said it right?
Yes.
You can't see her yet, but see in a second. Simi, and Simi, her pen has touched the top of the charts and the hearts of a generation. But don't get it twisted. She is decorated. All right, so I'm about to read this off real quick because I got to eat it right. Rookie of the Year at the Headies in 2022. BT and Nissan's Afrobeats Up Next Star. Spotify's Equal Africa Ambassador. What? That's hard. We got to talk about that. Apple Music's One to Watch. An Audio Max African artist to watch. All right. She's currently signed to Bad Habit Records under Atlantic, and her latest EP, Dutsy Love, is out now. Okay. So let's just say it's giving growth and range. And once you guys get into this conversation, you'll understand exactly why I brought her here to Drea Vibe Studios. Welcome to the show, babe.
Thank you.
How you feeling today?
I'm good. It's raining.
I know.
In New York.
It's really nasty.
It has a way of making you feel very calm and gloomy. And, I want to be in bed all night long, all day long. But, I'm hyped because I'm here.
Okay, good. All right. Well, before we get started, I want to do a little vibe check real quick. Okay. So I want to ask you to just kind of like meditate with me a little bit. On my count, we're going to breathe in, hold for 2 seconds, and then breathe out. And then we're going to hop straight into it. Ready? Okay. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Breathe out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're here. All right, Fave, my favorite question. We're going to rip the Band-Aid off, get straight into it. I hope you're feeling relaxed.
Yes.
Yes, I love that. Okay, what is the first song that you can recall hearing ever? Ever.
This song by Sky B. I think that's his name. If I'm saying the name wrong, it's not because I don't love you or anything. It's just because it's been a long time and he doesn't make music anymore. But Sky B, and I think the song is called I'm Calling. My baby, you're the one that I'm calling. I'm calling, baby, I'm calling, my baby, my baby, you're the one.
You know the whole song.
I kind of know the song, and I use like my interpretation of that, like the way he said my baby, he said it like mom, so it was like MAM, and I've never heard anyone say that before, so I kind of did that in my song No Games. Yeah.
Where is he from?
He's from Nigeria.
From Nigeria too.
Yes, he's from Nigeria.
Copy that. All right, so let's just get right into you growing up as, can I call you Little Fave?
Yeah, no, sure, of course.
Little Fave, back in the day. And being from the homeland, I know there's a lot of exposure to just like the root of sound, honestly, that you grew up around. But talk to me a little bit about like your first experiences hearing music and understanding that it was something that you felt was a vessel of expression for you.
I think it started when I realized I could write. So it was no longer, I could sing along to what people are singing to, or like the songs or the music videos on the screen. It was more like, I can actually compose my own songs. And I discovered that really, really young. My parents, like 5, 6.
I like how you did like that. Hold on, pause. Are you one of them people that dance when you get your food?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you be doing.
So, doesn't every girl do that? I feel like food makes us so happy. Like, even if you weren't hungry, it's like, I'm just eating and I'm like happy.
All right. So when you were very young and you said what ages again?
Like 5, 6.
5, 6, which is really young actually to even be writing for real. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. You know, my parents were very, like, they always stress the importance of you being a worker in church. Like, not just you going to church as a church goer, but you actually working in church. So they made it important for us to join a department in church. So I was like, you know, it has to be the choir because I don't want to stand up in church and usher people in. Like, there are not so many departments that a child can like go into in church, you know, but like choir was one of them. And my parents were also in the choir. So when I joined the choir, my 2 brothers too joined the choir. It was like, we were like a choir family, basically.
Okay. I don't know whether that's like a traumatic thing or is it?
No,
Okay.
actually, I think it was good.
Okay.
Yeah, I carry it like, I see it as a thing of pride because how many people can really say like the entire family was in the choir? I mean, not the same choir because we have like the adult choir and the children choir. Yeah, not the same. But like, you know, the Pentecostal church that I went to growing up, they had like things for like your age. You know, they had like the adult choir, you had the teen choir, you had the children choir. So I started up, you know, in the children choir with my brothers.
Tell me a little bit more about like the structure of that church, because my understanding of church from being in a Baptist church, a lot of times we do renditions of like popular songs into gospel songs or et cetera, et cetera. But was that something you had the freedom to do in a Pentecostal church, or were you singing more like historical like hymns?
No, you know, because it's a Pentecostal church and not like Orthodox, like the Catholic and the Anglican churches, because I think those churches like sing strictly hymns. Our church, we were doing the Kirk Franklin.
Okay, all right.
Donnie McClurkin.
There we go.
We were doing all of that. So
that's what I need to know.
We would always, like, when we go for like choir practice, it would always be like we're scoring a particular song that we're going to minister or perform in church that Sunday. And, you know, like sometimes we would like go around and pick who's going to solo the song and stuff like, and I loved to solo just because like all eyes on me and I get to like flex my vocals. You know, in church, everyone is kind of like doing,
yep. Like, I gotta see little videos of you back in the day. I know they exist.
Videos, no, unfortunately. When I see people like with videos of back when they were, I feel so jealous, you know. People, it's like now, you never really think about like capturing a moment for real until that moment has passed. And then you look back on it like years after and you're like, oh, fuck, you know, I should have like captured this.
Okay, so back to writing though. So were you writing for the church choir?
No, you know, in church, you perform songs that have already been performed. Like, they already exist. But, like, I was writing for my own pleasure. Like,
got you.
Yeah, for myself, to perform for my friends, my family, my parents most especially. Because I was trying to put this in their heads. Like, you people need to take me to the studio. Like, quick. You have a star here. Take me to the studio.
No, I think they knew you were a star.
No,
they didn't.
My parents always thought this music thing was a hobby.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it is a hobby, but like, but at the same time, it's like, it's a hobby that I want to keep doing. Like, it's a hobby that I take seriously. You know, they never really took music as that serious thing, you know.
But I'm sure they're very talented vocalists, though.
They are.
Right.
They are.
Well, shout out to you for carrying that legacy over into this space, in this world that you are now dominating in. So, but all right. So you were writing for yourself, though. What were you like? What was inspiring you to write? If you had inspirations outside of, I guess, you know, the church, like where were you? I guess talk to me about like where were you writing all this? Who you performing it for? Like, did you have your own little like studio in the house when you were 5? Like, tell me more.
No, I didn't have my studio. I would basically write because I was also into writing poems.
Okay.
So it was like poems, it was songs, and I was just writing really. And the only people that I would perform it for, my friends, my family, my parents. My parents. My parents. I have to say my parents because it was important to me that they knew that this was something that I took an interest in doing, and this is something that I could do. And I felt so proud of myself that I was writing this, like, I was composing full songs, you know, gospel songs, so they don't kick me out of the house. Like,
you had to add a little bit of that in.
Yeah, no, I was performing songs for God, G-O-D, you know, all the time. Like, I was always singing his praises and his worship and all of that. But deep down, I knew that I wanted to write about more stuff. But I think because I started so young, I think that was really all I knew, you know? I think eventually I progressed into writing things that I started to feel.
Okay.
You know, like as a child in an African home, I feel like most of the time you're mad, you're angry. Like, why don't you guys want me to go out? Like, I've been in this house and I'm the only girl in my family. Yeah, so it's like my dad never wanted me to go anywhere. It's always like, yeah, your brothers can go out. They're men though. Like, but you're a girl. You know, you have to sit in the house. So it's like a lot of those frustration, anger, sadness. I started to put that in my music. So I was listening to Billie Eilish. I was listening to Adele. So they were always writing about like sad stuff. And then I think growing up on that type of music got me into like developing like the kind of sad and twisted things that I write about right now.
Yeah. I like that you said that word twisted, because I felt like listening to some of Dutty. I don't want to say. I don't have an accent.
Dirty Love. Raw.
Dirty Love. I don't want to say you crazy and y'all like this girl sound white or something.
You could never get it wrong. As
Dirty Love.
Exactly.
Okay, I did it. Your music has like, there's so much to it. There's a lot of the production quality and it's like superior, number one. And then the way that your vocals go up and down, you have a lot of range. And then it's like, oh, I'm having fun. It's a fun song. Wait, it's a sad song.
It's a sad song.
It's a sad song.
Nobody really thinks about that.
Yes. And it's like, okay, like pop, pop, pop. And then it's like, wait, oh, wait, it's a gospel little choir like verse in here. Not verse, but like, you know, sound in here. It's like, wait. So yeah, it definitely took me some twists and turns. But anyways, getting back to when you said you started to write about stuff you were feeling. Yeah. Was there a particular moment where your daddy didn't let you outside or something where you were like, I gotta go write about how I feel right now? You know, like when is the first time you wrote about how you felt? And tell me about that poem or those lyrics.
I don't know if I remember particularly. I think it would probably be something relating to me just not being allowed to express myself as much. Okay. I can't remember because I was doing a lot of writing. I even had a book where I would write all my songs, and then I had a book for like all my poems. So I was doing a lot of writing, but I just felt I was expressing myself a lot in those aspects because I just feel like as a child, I was sort of caged a lot. I don't know if I'd say like I regret it or like if I come back in another life, if I'd want to change that. But I do know it has made me who I am today. I don't know who I would be if I wasn't told no multiple times. Like it probably made me very stubborn or like very hard-headed. Like now I know what I want and I know like to get what I want regardless of like all the no's. But like I was just always putting down my frustration. I was always penning that shit down. And I think I had like a talent of expression. I had a way with words. So I was always finding a way to say what I wanted to say not in the most direct way. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what like that practice and that love of like poems and literature in school just kind of pushed me in that direction, which is why when it came to school and you're like the arts or the sciences, which would you rather? It was so easy for me to pick like art because I was just like, I need to be taught more on this thing that I love. You know, I may be good in science. We'll never know. Never did that. So I can never know, maybe in another life. But art was for me. I feel like I'm a creative through and through. Like if I wasn't doing music, it would be something creative.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel that all off of you.
Yeah. Thank you.
You mentioned like having a way with words and this book where you had your poems and your songs. And for me, sitting back as someone who like I aspire to be able to actually write how I feel one day in like a poetic way with a melody. But like when you were that young, where were the melodies coming from? And was that the first thing that came to you before you wrote, or was it the words? And talk to me about how like you turn the words into melodies, into songs. Yeah.
I think my melodies come from God. I just think that there's no other reasonable explanation for that. Like, I think my melodies are so distinct. I mean, yes, I get inspired by people I've listened to because music is weird like that. Like, you listen to something passively or actively and it just sticks. So if you're someone who creates music, it's there. Like, something that you've heard before is stuck, and then it's like, it's making you reimagine sounds. And it's like, I don't know if there's several times people make music that someone else has made like so many years back.
100 years ago.
They don't even realize because they probably either heard it one time and it didn't register. And then they're creating the sound on their own and they're thinking, oh, magnificent. This sound that I made out of, from scratch is so amazing and beautiful. And then only to realize like, yo, someone else already did this. So music is just very, very crazy in that way. So I think it's definitely from God. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, before we go into the next section, I want to touch on the literature piece that you mentioned. So obviously, God has been guiding you and guiding your passion towards like putting everything you have into expressing yourself through music, through lyrics, through sound. But then when you got into a place where you got to school and you started learning and having more, I wouldn't call it like influences, but just like more tools in your toolbox of how to use words to use in different ways words were used in literature. Were there certain pieces of literature that like really, really stuck with you and that you have been like, inspired by to this day?
Pieces of literature.
Or any piece of art.
I wouldn't say. I think it's mostly music. Because I think I'm very turned on by how people put like play of words and are able to put that into a song. I am of the opinion that writing poetry is easy.
What? No, that's the worst. That was my worst like assignment in literature class.
Really?
I hated that.
I feel like it's super easy. I feel like the real hard work is putting that into a song. Like the melodies, like music is complex, but it doesn't feel complex to me because of how easy it comes out. But at the same time, I've been in a studio session where someone was trying to write for me. I don't like people writing for me. I like to write my own stuff, but like, my label tries to push me, to work with people. So I'm like, and then someone wrote a song for me and I was trying to like sing it. And it was just like, yo, crazy. Like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, it was just crazy. Like, it's not me. It's like, now I have to put melodies to these words. Usually it's like, if it comes from me, then it comes like hand in hand. Yeah. Something like that. So it's like, I definitely get more of my inspiration from music, from watching people like Adele put their heart and soul into like the lyrics and how they like, even just the performance of it is what really inspires me. I think the only literature books I remember is Othello, and that's just crazy.
It's like mythology, right? Or is that Greek?
That's Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Okay.
Othello.
I'm glad you remember that one.
About love and tragedy. Why do I know so many sad stuff?
You and love and tragedy.
Crazy. Honestly, it's tragic. The world is tragic.
Wait, love is tragic?
Love is tragic.
Oh,
the world is tragic. Sometimes things just end in tragedy for no reason. Like pets die. People die.
Oh my God, hold on.
It rains. Like,
I'm not gonna wood. Hold on now. We got both of them. A man right here, a dog at the house. Like, I turned the flat iron off. I did. Okay. Really? All right.
Sorry. Lot of love in the world, though. Lot of love. And happiness and peace and sunshine.
And music.
And music.
Okay. All right. Let's go into sound palette, girl. Okay. I wrote down what I'm going to do for you on here because I just have to do these.
Yeah.
So, the first one is this game is called Scene. And this is where, again, you're going to kind of like meditate a little bit. If you want to lay back and melt into the seat, you can, because I'm going to narrate something that I crafted specifically for you. I'm going to give you a top line context. You're going to close your eyes and just melt into the seat, and I'm going to narrate it. And then when I like snap my fingers and I ask you what song is playing, you tell me what came to your mind as soon as I did that.
Okay.
All right. We're in it. Close your eyes and melt. The top line context is that you are on a solo trip to heal. Okay. All right. You've just checked into your hotel and you've grabbed a few things and you headed back out to soak up the golden hour. The door opens and a warm, salty breeze greets you. You're wearing an oversized white linen shirt, maybe like no bra vibes because, it's free and flowing, okay? The shirt's dancing in the wind and you're curiously wandering on this like really like small, quaint street with coconut stands and beach shops and local people playing chess, drinking beer. The waves are humming in the background. And as you stop to sip your smoothie, you then realize, wait, I want to put some headphones on. Okay. What song is playing as you put your headphones on and narrate the rest of your beach journey down the road?
This feels very much like Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I have something to admit. You can open your eyes too. I know Billie Eilish. We all know Billie Eilish, but I actually had never listened to a Billie Eilish song all the way through until that song.
Really?
But I still know that she's a great generational talent. Like that's without a doubt. And I actually might have heard her music like out and about and stuff. But there was a time where like I probably listened to Birds of a Feather the only song I was listening to for like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful song.
It's a very beautiful song. It makes you feel like you're floating.
Yes.
Yeah, no, Billie.
How does she do that?
She always does that.
How does she do that?
It's crazy. I have an unpopular opinion that that's not her best project. But,
Okay.
yeah, that's not her best project, but it's a very good project.
A very good project.
You need to listen to Billie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of songs that I guess I've run up, the next game is called Platinum. Give me like 2 to 3 songs that have gone like triple, quadruple, diamond, gold, platinum in your own iTunes, Spotify, whatever library you choose of all time.
Okay. There's this song, The Sound of Silence, Garfunkel, I think. Dun, 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 dun. That song is so sad. Then an Adele song. I should probably mention an Adele song. All Adele songs. But maybe if I mention one, it would be Rumor Has It. That song is so twisted. I'm the one you leaving her for. It's so fucking twisted.
She's kind of crazy if you think about it. Her music is wild. Okay.
Adele, right?
Yeah.
That's what I said. I feel like people don't realize that. The thing is, a lot of people don't really listen to music. They hear it, but they don't really listen to music.
Yeah.
When you listen, you realize how very talented some people are. Let me just say that.
Mm-hmm.
What other song has gone platinum? There's this song. It's by Wizkid and God, I don't know the title of the song.
Who's on it with him? Do you remember? Okay.
This guy, I didn't really like him. How can this be happening to me right now? We could just scrap that.
Okay. Well, you gave me 2.
2? Is 2 enough?
2 was enough.
2 is not enough.
Okay, give me more.
2 is not enough.
You've ran some shit up in your library. I know you have.
I have.
What's the last one you went to? Like, I ain't listened to this one in a while. I remember I used to run this up.
The last song that I went to and I did that too. Let me see. What song? I honestly haven't listened to new songs of recent.
You have or haven't?
I have.
Okay, tell me.
There's
Let's talk
been-
about some new
There's been
ones.
tons of new songs out. Pink Panthers just dropped an album. I've been listening to that. Kali Uchis just dropped an album. I have also been listening to that.
Oh, I need to do that.
Yeah.
I haven't done that. But Cali, though, you gotta like intention. I gotta sit with that.
Yeah, you have to. It's like if you're in a car and you're gonna be there for 45 minutes, might as well just like put some shit on. Also,
Yeah.
Thames.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I should definitely. There's a song in her project. It's unfortunate, you're unfortunate. I really love that song so much.
I don't know what that one's called.
Played that song a lot. I feel like it's called Fortunate, I think, from the album.
Okay.
Yeah, I really love that song. Te Amo Rihanna. Like, I feel like that song really seriously went flat. I'm so sorry, but the drums on that song and the vibe. Yeah.
Yo, that is a throwback.
Yep.
That's a throwback. We love Riri over here.
Yeah.
Riri, we love you.
Come back.
Okay,
My bad.
I'm gonna let you choose the next one. Because we did see that was platinum. All right, so I thought I wrote these down, but I didn't write them all down. So I want you to choose from all of these: Prescription, Sonic Ascension, Fly in the Booth, or Nobody Knows. You got to choose between one of those: Prescription, Sonic Ascension, Fly in the Booth, or Nobody Knows.
Wait. What are these options for?
These are for another game.
Or Prescription?
I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm telling you the titles of them.
Okay, tell me the titles again.
Prescription, Sonic Ascension, Fly in the Booth, or Nobody Knows.
Fly in the Booth sounds
Okay, let's roll with that
crazy.
one. All right. So, if you could be a fly in the booth of the recording session of any song made by an artist, what's funny? Me a fly. Oh. You don't want to be a fly?
I'll allow it.
You allow it for this. Who will you allow it for? And what song?
Oh, okay, a song that's out already.
It could be yes.
Mm.
Not one of your songs, a song from any other artist, dead or alive. Which recording of a song would you want to witness as a fly in the room, invisible, just buzzing around like, oh, this is a vibe.
You know, there's a Lady Gaga song called Alejandro.
Yes, we know that. I know the video of that song.
Alejandro.
Yes.
I don't know what is wrong with Lady Gaga. That woman is insane. I feel like I would love to be in her sessions when she's recording, and how maybe people are probably looking at her like, what's going through this woman's head right now? Because, you know, studio sessions are funny when you're there in the process of the music being made. So
Yeah.
I would really love to be in her. Alejandro is a crazy song, especially what it means. And I don't know if she could actually speak like Spanish. It's Spanish, right? Spanish is
I think so.
right.
Yeah, Alejandro gives Spanish.
It's giving Spanish. I don't know if she could actually speak that, but I would love to be. Yeah, I would allow myself to turn into a fly for Lady Gaga.
There we go. I love that. All right, girl. That was a great section. Let's get into story time a little bit because I have a few things I definitely want to ask you. Okay. Throughout your journey in your career, you obviously collaborate with a lot of really amazing, dope artists. Can you tell me a story about like a session where the creative chemistry was something you felt was sent from God and how that turned out?
Okay, let me think really hard, long and hard. I have to say Ajebo Hustlers. That's my one collaboration that I felt like in the studio, it was crazy. Just because like most of my collaborations don't really happen together. Like it's usually more of like, oh, I record here, you record here, and we send it and then we hear at different times or we hear at the same time. But it's like Ajebo Hustlers, I have 2 songs with them, In Love and Pop Sermon. And I feel like we recorded those songs on the same day. I think we were just really flowing into each other's like vibe. They have this very Nigerian Southern vibe and they like rap, sing. they have a lot of lamba in their mouth. I don't know if you know what lamba is.
Mm.
Lamba is like a Nigerian slang for, God damn, there is no English interpretation for lamba.
Is it a food?
No, it's like when someone you have killed me.
Yeah, like
It's
lamb.
like when someone has when someone talks nice, like, God damn.
Like when you get rizzed up.
It could be Riz, yeah. Like when someone says don't allow them to use lamba to like
Sweet
woo
talk.
you exactly.
There we
Sweet
go.
talk.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
It's so
or
hard.
Riz. Yeah.
Or Riz, yes. I was thinking of a word to like, so like they know how to like, they know just the words to use when they want to like say the things that they want to say. And it's not in English. It's like in Pidgin, or it's in like one of the Nigerian languages. But I just really enjoyed working with them. And I feel like the songs we made, if I make songs like that with artists in the future, it would always be dope, because I think nothing goes better than actually creating something together, as opposed to when both of you are in a different space. Yeah.
Mm. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. I learned a lot today.
I mean, people are different. Honestly, people are very different. A lot of people don't like to work when someone else is there. You know, they could be shy. They could like need their space, you know, but I prefer to like.
But okay, so if it wasn't for collaborations, do you like to have your own space?
I do. I am a very shy person.
Really?
Yes.
You have a lot of really great and amazing things to say to be so shy.
Well, I have two characters. I'm two people.
Are you a Gemini?
No, I'm a Pisces.
Okay, I'm
a Gemini moon.
We're sister signs.
So that makes, oh yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
Twin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Gemini moon, so maybe that's why you thought I was a Gemini. Although they said, although they said that star signs aren't real. I don't know. I read that somewhere, or I heard that somewhere. They said,
what's real and what's not?
Honestly, I think that they're just trying to like quench our happiness. They don't want us to be happy.
Right.
So like, fuck them.
Right. Fuck them for real. Okay. Tour. You just wrapped up an international tour. How many stops was it?
How many
stops?
7.
7 stops.
Yeah.
Amsterdam. You actually released a live project from Amsterdam. There was one song that you, I think, was live in London on that set. But tell me a little bit about that Amsterdam tour stop, and like what was so different about it for you when it came to like what came out of you on that stage.
I think this was my first tour. This was the first time I was ever like performing for people who actually came there to see just me.
Yeah.
You know, like bought tickets to see me, came out of their houses to see me. And I was taking it step by step, little by little. And Amsterdam was the last. Oh, no, it wasn't the last. New York was the last. Actually, DC was the last. Amsterdam was the last.
DC.
Yeah, it was the last. Amsterdam was the last EU stop, like the last European stop. Okay. So I felt like at that point, I had already performed in 3 cities before. That was my 4th city. So it was like, at that point, I was already sort of comfortable on the stage. You know, I had already done that 4 times, you know, like the whole sets, you know, like the interactions.
How long was your set?
Like an hour.
Okay, that's a long
like an hour. Yeah, it was long. My longest set ever. Because usually when I perform, it's like when you're like on a lineup of artists.
Yeah.
You know, everyone is like 25 minutes. You know, I don't even have that many songs in my discography out right now, to be honest. But like
you got a lot in the arsenal. I know you do.
Yeah,
I'm sure you do.
Unreleased, yes, but out, not really. So I should probably enjoy my performances now more than when I have to perform for 2 to 3 hours on stage. But I really enjoyed Amsterdam, maybe because it was like I was going to be leaving Europe into like the United States to finish, or it was because I had done that a couple times. But honestly, the whole tour was fun for me. I feel like next time if I go on tour, I would probably not plan to wear shoes. Yeah, like...
Oh, because your feet were hurting?
Not that they were hurting. I just feel like shoes are so restricting. I'm a very free spirit.
You want to be grounded?
Yeah. I want to be able to jump into...
Wait, hold on. So when you go to a FAVE show, just know if she don't have her shoes on, you should not be in the front row.
Just expect the unexpected, you know. But when you have shoes on and you're all up there looking pretty, you have so many things to consider. You're like, if I move this way, you know, how am I sure my shoe won't go like this way? It's like so many things to consider.
No, these are real life things women have to like think about.
Exactly.
If I turn this way, is my track gonna be showing?
Exactly. So many things. So many things.
This is hilarious. Okay, so I asked that question just because Amsterdam was primarily what was released on the live recording part of that project. And I was wondering, did you know that Amsterdam was where y'all were going to do the live recording?
You know what's crazy is we were supposed to record live for all the cities, but some of the cities didn't pick up, you know, when there are technical difficulties and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just saying this so that like other cities don't feel a type of way, because like if it was up to me, I would have released one song per city, so it feels like very like a wholesome tour, you know.
Yeah.
But like Amsterdam was where we got the most from, like in terms of like aftermath, like the products that we got from it. So it was more of a situation of like what do we have and what can we use, because we wanted it to feel nice.
Yeah.
We didn't want it to be like audio from the live crowd. We wanted it to be like, I don't know the terms for it, whatever. You know, when people connect stuff and they like get the
seamless
or something. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I have no idea. I'm just a singer, guys.
That's understandable.
Just
do whatever you was doing when I heard that the live project. Keep doing that.
But I'm happy that you listened and you liked it, because I want to be doing more stuff like that.
I loved it. I really loved it. Okay, I want to talk about the debut album that is in the works. We won't go too deep into like spilling stuff about it, but if you listen to her music by now, if you're not a fan, you're gonna be a fan after this interview. But pay attention to everything that she puts in it, from just like the sonic range to the production to the lyricism to, in a way, the twists and turns, because like it's a story when she's performing or when she's singing. But I know that a debut album from you is probably a freaking combination of all your best shit, all the most pure and raw emotions and experiences that you could dump into one thing. And as an artist, that can be overwhelming to put all of that out. Mm-hmm. But can you talk to me a little bit about some of the sources of inspiration that you're pulling from, whether they're new or old, to put this together and to start tracking towards this project?
So debut album. I am very excited. Let me just say that, because I feel like I don't really put out music that often. And it's crazy because some people might be disappointed that my album would only have 12 tracks. I just don't know. Like, people do albums and it's always long, but I don't listen to albums like that. So I just feel like it's not fair for me to feel like a 20-something track album is long and then do a 27 track album. So 12 is short, so you put it on repeat and you go back and forth. But like you said, I'm gonna be putting all into the album, all of my self, my personalities, all my characters. All the genres that I have possibly done in the past couple of years, because I just feel like I don't know how many times I have the opportunity to show what I can do. So as much as I can, I see this project as my way of expression. And I don't want to say I'm getting inspired by anyone, to be honest, because I just want it to be like a one of one. I want it to be like a real original. It is centered around the different sides to me and how I have my lows and my highs, how I have the rage side of me and I have the calm side of me, you know. It's like I am trying as much as I can to pronounce my words better, because people be telling me they don't hear what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know what you people are talking about. But as much as I can, I am pronouncing everything. I'm doing the tss and everything as much as I possibly can, so nothing flies over anyone's head. But yeah, I'm really excited. I feel like I don't want to say the title of the project just because I want you guys to be surprised when I do say the title of the project.
We don't have to talk about the title. But But I do want to clarify, when I ask you that question, I'm asking because I want to understand what stories or what's been happening in your life that you're pulling this source of inspiration from. I ain't talking about nobody else because, again, if you listen to her music, this is just FAVE.
Yeah.
So this project,
The stories.
The stories, what are some topics that we can expect to be discussed or explored?
Well, as usual, I would talk about love and how
Why
it's
are
a
you so
fucking
mad when you say
scam.
that?
Is that people need to talk about love more, and I just feel like I'm pro love, you know.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm pro love, girl. Wipe that smile off your face.
I gotta zoom into the side eye she just gave me. Oh my God.
It's like I told you before that I have two characters and two personalities. So it's like there's the pro love me and there's the me that's like fuck love. It's like that.
Mhm.
It's like I will always surprise people by them thinking that I'm singing a love song and it just not being a love song. Like it just being some crazy ass shit about how you shouldn't trust anybody and that man's gonna all of that. Yeah, true. But honestly, my personal experiences on the project would probably be 50%. Then the other 50% would be other people's experiences.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do a lot of that.
Yep. Most times I could probably start out with my experience and then midway kind of like put someone else's experience in there. Or it could all be fiction really. But just because I feel like I sing with so much emotion, you would think that I went through that shit. Yeah. But like there are songs that I went through that shit. Like Belong to You, I definitely went through that shit. Like I was angry, I was mad when I was recording that song and I was like, yo, fuck you, like be a grown ass nigga, don't be doing this type of shit. Yeah, I was mad when I did that. But most songs, no. Like Mr. Man, no. MBU, no. Like a couple of songs, I wasn't really thinking about anyone. So there will be songs like that on the project. There are a lot of songs on the project where I am also like talking my shit, you know. I'm like, I don't really have time. Like, I feel like a lot of people think there's time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time. Like I am the type of person that thinks time is running out on me right now as I sit here.
Really?
It just always feels that way. Like I feel like time moves fast. You don't feel that way?
It does. It moves fast. It's moving faster and faster like the older we get. But like even today, I'm like my heart's pounding. I'm like, I gotta get here. Damn, I'm late. I left 15 minutes earlier than what I should have left, and I was still late. And then I just like sat back in the car. I'm like, well, let me just stay present right here. I'm looking at the rain dropping down and people running across New York looking crazy. Like I'm just trying to be present, more present. Yeah. Because like you said, like we don't get this time back. So like when these life moments happen and we let ourselves get so worked up over time lost, like it's supposed to be like time lost. Like time's gonna continue to run out. Yeah. But I don't know. I've been trying to remind myself to be more present. And if anything, just not react to my frustration with time running out.
Yeah, that is something you have to learn, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is something you have to learn because sometimes you already react before you remind yourself that you shouldn't have reacted to stuff just because of like all the emotions and stuff like that. Yeah, so it does, like there are several times I have to remind myself that if it's not working, it's probably not meant to work, you know. But sometimes it comes too late. I had already complained and felt like, oh my God, everything is crashing down on me. Why doesn't shit ever work out for me and stuff like that? But it is a process. I think it's something that I'm learning to like accommodate. Like things will always happen and they may not necessarily go your way, but that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Like I'm the type of person that I feel things so deeply. It's like when something happens, I feel so heartbroken. I feel like
take it personal.
I take it so personal.
Girl, you got to get about that shit.
Yep.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna mess you up.
Yep. I honestly don't know, but I feel like I feel it negatively, even positively. Like the way I react to it's like both sides for me. So it's like I definitely want to be able to tone that stuff down, but honestly, that's between me and God. I'm not even gonna lie because I don't really think I can get up out of that kind of vibe if I don't like fully trust him. Yeah, I honestly think that's the only way.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
You get it. You know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
Thank you.
All right, girl. Is there anything that you want to talk about? Anything going on in the world that you want to address or you want like to just chat about in general? Because I know the world is tragic. It's a lot of crazy shit going on. But like, do you got a point of view that you want to get across?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to, like, so many things are happening on the internet, but I don't want anyone to come for me.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just
You one of those don't want to get canceled? Hold on.
Yeah,
I
I talk a lot on my social media, like my Twitter. I'm always like saying my views, and it's always getting me booted. So I'm just like, let me just chill.
Okay.
It's like people don't want people to express themselves. I don't know, what are you gonna do without people like us expressing ourselves? Like the world needs us.
It does.
But I don't know. I don't. Except you have stuff you want to ask me, then I'm gonna be like, but shit is really going on in the world. I feel like there's so many court cases happening now.
We're not gonna go to this.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I don't want to talk about. But that's all that I see on my Twitter when I open it up. That's all I see.
Girl. Just because it's like every day, like I've been finding myself watching content on Instagram now longer than I've ever watched. Like this journalist named Lauren LaRosa, shout out to her on the Breakfast Club. She's been doing I guess like a 10 to 15 minute recap of every day of the trial, and I've been glued to it. Like, you know how like you scroll, I won't scroll away. Like, it's so good, but it feels like after I watch it, I'm like, hold on, like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Like, what the fuck?
It's like you get so down, and it's like it's affecting you in some way. I just feel like we're at that point where we definitely need some sunshine. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the only answer.
Yeah,
we need sunshine. I need my student loans paid off. That's what I need. All right. That I need. I want to be debt free. That's what I need. Sunshine and money.
And money.
Yeah, money. Okay. Do you have any questions for me before we close out this show?
Okay. Questions. Well, first of all, I do want to say I really enjoyed this session or episode.
You can call it a session. I'm gonna call these sessions now. It's therapy.
Yeah, sesh. Actually, because you did that whole thing where you calmed me at the beginning, and like even though my heart was like doing before, it just kind of like relaxed. But
get me.
I want to ask how long you have been like, or how long have you known that you could talk like this, like in terms of like, you know, there are people who could talk, and there are people who like, because of their talent at talking or being able to like, should I say, conduct a conversation, they're able to like do stuff like this and make you feel very calm. And I don't know, like it comes from your heart and your mind. Yeah. So how long have you like known that?
You're about to make me emotional. That's a great question. I haven't really thought about that. But I do know that the first time I just threw myself out there in conversation, like to be someone that would have to conduct conversations, was in 2015. I've always been a social person, but I was always like kind of scared of being the one that just walks up to people and starts talking. Like when we go out to eat with my parents and stuff, when the waitresses would come, I'd be like, oh my God, like I was telling my mom one day, she probably doesn't remember this. I was like, I could never do that. Like, how do you just go up to someone and just start talking? But let me tell this quick story. When I graduated college, I was trying to also make more money because what the fuck, those jobs wasn't paying. And I had my friend, my best friend, her name is Sybil. She worked at Hooters. And I'm like, damn girl, you making some money. Hooters on Peachtree, by the way, in Atlanta. And then she was like, yeah, you should get a job waitressing. So I'm like, but I don't like, doing that. And so then she was like, just like go find a restaurant and just go tell them you used to work at Hooters. If anything, I'll like vouch for you. So I literally did that. And I ended up working at this place called Buckhead Bottle Bar. And I walked in there. I was like, yeah, I used to work at Hooters on Peachtree. I'm looking for a new gig closer to where I live at now. And they gave me the job. And I remember the first day I was like shook. But like for some reason, I was holding them motherfucker down. Like I was doing good. I made a lot of money that day, and then I started to make more money as I understood what I should do. Yeah. But like it put me in a position to be on a stage in a way, and I could perform. I didn't know I could perform until I got to that point. So like waitressing and being in that element, and especially in a competitive way, because it's like at places like that in Atlanta, like you dealing with big booty ass Betty over here, and I'm just like a little Drea over here, just doing my thing.
Yeah.
But still, like my clientele was very, very, very respectful of me, and I think it was because of how I carried myself. And I realized I had a talent in that way of not having to use anything else but how I talk to people.
How you talk.
And then when I met someone while I was also waitressing, her name was Candace Daniels, and she had a media platform, and she was like, "You'd be a great host." And I'm like, absolutely. I would love to go to these cool events that like I see on TV or Real Housewives and stuff like that. And then
Wait, so before she said that, you had never thought about like hosting?
No, I didn't.
That is crazy.
No, I didn't actually. No, I didn't. A friend of mine, let me pause. It kind of happened simultaneously. At the same time that I'm waitressing, one of my friends that I used to cheer with, Ansley, shout out to Ansley, she was like, "You should be a co-host for my podcast." And so at the same time in which she had asked me that was also like coincidentally when I met Candace, and she was like, "Oh, you should host this too." So then I just got thrown into being in media and being a media personality within like a week. And it all came from the confidence of that came from me throwing myself into being a waitress, lying and said I worked at Hooters, knowing damn well I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, they didn't even train me or nothing. I guess back then they were just like, "Oh, you did this? So cool, great."
Yeah.
So yeah, then I realized I was good at it when like I understood like how much fun I was having and how much fun people were having talking to me.
Talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. You have a gift.
Oh, thank you, girl. Thank you. I'm glad you get it.
Thank you.
Drea Vibes to the world, okay? I'm slowly but surely building this brand, and I'm glad to have conversations like this with people like you, because this is what also makes my show so much more valuable and so much more of what it is, because the way that you express yourself about what you love and how you love music and what music does to you is what I want to show more about artists to the world. And your fans probably didn't know some of the stuff that you just told me today or talked about today. And in general, this is my therapy too. So we both in the session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hope I taught you so many things that you didn't know about yourself today. My client
did.
Since I'm also your therapist.
Yes. I'm a client. you see what she did? I'm a client now. No, you definitely did. And I just really love seeing women in this space. Like, and how you said, like, you were the only girl and you're like coming up in a household, you felt like you were always mad. I can relate to that. Like, not that I'm the only, well, I am the only girl technically, but it's just me and my brother. But I remember being so mad all the time. I'm like, I don't get to have fun. I don't get to do this. I don't get to wear that. Like, and then I broke out and went to college, and I'm like, I'm this now.
Yep.
Yep.
Like, who's gonna stop me?
And that's where everything is Drea came from. And we here today. Yeah. All right, Fave, you have anybody you want to shout out or anything you want to say before we close out?
Shout out to my bestie, Ifunaya. That's all. I feel like if you're expecting the shout out from me, you shouldn't be expecting the shout out from me, honestly. Just leave me alone. Shout out to Drea too. Please watch our episode. Oh, probably if you gotten to this point, you watched the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and do all that good stuff. And tune in to us on Instagram to see more of Drea Vibes and more of FAVE. All right, peace.